You are listening to the Horse Radio Network, part of the Equine Network family. Good morning, everybody. I am Glenn the Geek from Ocala, Florida.
And I am Allison Rehnborg in Nashville, Tennessee, and you are listening to the monthly Equine Affaire episode of Horses in the Morning on the Horse Radio Network for July 16th, episode 3998.
Woo-hoo.
Getting real close to number 4,000. This episode is brought to you by Equine Affaire. Good morning, Horse World.
It just dawned on me that Sunday night is our big our Zoom event. We're doing, I'll remind everybody right now because you brought it up. Episode 4000 will be recorded on Sunday night the 19th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll be putting links everywhere. There's links in every show notes day for the Facebook reminder. So yeah, we'll be doing that on Zoom and hopefully having a bunch of listeners on the call with us. And we're just going to kind of hang out and celebrate doing 4,000 of these. It's a rare event. This is, if you take NPR, out of the mix, there's probably 3 or 4 other podcasts that have done 4,000 episodes. I was going to say there's probably only one that has had the same hosts for that long a time.
Wow.
So yeah, we're excited to do that. Of course, you're invited, Allison, and all the Tuesdays and Thursday hosts are going to be invited, and it's just a party.
Is it a Guinness World Record? Do we admit this?
No, I have a friend who does Entrepreneur on Fire is the name of his show. Mm-hmm. And he's at like 46 or 4,700 episodes. Now he's a solo show and it's a pretty short show, but he does 7 days a week. So that's why he's ahead of us. We started about the same time, but he does 7 days a week. So, and he's one of the rare shows, and this is not a secret, he says this in a show where because it's a business related show, he actually charges guests to be on the show. And that's how he makes his money is from guests.
Imagine if you charged to be on Horses in the Morning.
Yeah, we would make no money and there would be no show. So, but yeah,
true.
Yeah, so it's big bucks to be on his show. It's big bucks.
Wow.
But yeah, that's how he makes his money. And he bought a nice place in Puerto Rico overlooking the ocean, and that was all podcast money. So
you could have a nice place overlooking the ocean in Puerto Rico.
We like our little place that doesn't overlook the ocean where hurricanes are here in Florida. So I don't think it pays to have a place in Florida overlooking the ocean. I don't think that's a wise move.
No, it's like having a house on the Outer Banks.
Yes.
Like, just why?
Well,
why did you do that?
Thank you for joining us for the Equine Affaire episode. We're here the third Thursday of every month. And Allison's going to tell us what's coming up on today's show.
On today's show, we're joined by Kendra Clarke. She is a writer biomechanics expert, and she's going to tell us all about biomechanics and why we should care about them as good riders. Well, before we get into business, I wanted to talk about coat colors and markings. Now, before we do that, though, have you talked about this recently on the show?
No, we have not, actually.
Okay. So I posted this really fun Facebook poll over the weekend on Equine. I love to do this because if there's one thing horse people will talk about, it's ding, 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 their horses. And I said, okay, guys, like favorite unusual markings or facial markings, body markings, whatever. And I was stunned. Even I was stunned at the number of comments and like pictures that I got, which I'm still going through the treasure trove, but it's like over 345 comments, all with pictures of your beautiful horses. And it's a happy feeling. So if you haven't looked at it, you should hop over there and see all the beautiful variety. But it really got me thinking. Now, your horses, like a Scooter, does he even have a star?
He has a star and 4 white legs, 4 white socks.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 4 white socks. So that also got me thinking about that rhyme, and I'm sure you've heard this. Yeah. 1 white sock, buy him. 2 white socks, try him. 3 white socks, think well about him. And 4 white socks, do well without him. Blah.
Well, though, he's the sweetest guy, and he's so entertaining and everything, but he did bolt a lot, so maybe there's something to that.
No. Well, I find this rhyme really obnoxious and offensive because my second horse had 4 white socks and stockings. Like, they went to the knee, above the knee, above the hock. He was a crop out quarter horse, and I loved that horse. And he was a cribber. Yeah, he was a cribber.
There you go.
Which also nobody liked that. I heard about that constantly. I heard the comments about his 4 white legs, and I'm like, no, he was my heart horse. He was my buddy. So I think that this rhyme is trash and we should throw it out.
There's the other things too, like the with the bloody shoulders and the medicine hats and all those. Mm-hmm. I am not a medicine hat person, so I apologize to anybody who is. I just don't like it. It's just a personal thing. You
think they look weird?
I just think they look weird. Yeah, it's everybody has their thing. That's my thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think they're cool. I think they're unusual. My favorite thing is the white blazes with a weird coat color marking in them. Mm. And there's a lot of those in this thread of people posting their horses. I think those are funny looking and very unusual. It's like those, what are they, hag stones, where you find a stone with a hole through the middle? Mm-hmm. That's what it reminds me of.
Is there one that you just go, I would never own one?
Oh.
Color-wise.
I don't want a gray.
Yeah. And I think there's a lot of people just for practical purposes that don't want a gray.
Right. Yeah. Like I wouldn't mind a really dark, dappley gray, except for the whole melanoma thing. Yeah. But anything lighter than, like, I like the really dark iron gray horses. Anything lighter than that, I'm just like, no.
You don't want Jamie's horses, the gray grays.
No.
Which require a bottle of shampoo a week.
Yeah, no. Don't love that.
That's the reason I always had black Percherons. Can you imagine having a gray Percheron?
Filthy all the time. But yeah, I mean, and then there's the whole melanoma thing. That's why add that stress to your life. I mean, horses are stressful enough without worrying about their skin.
But I got to tell you, they say there's a person for every person. And when you look at your thread here and look at the pictures, there's a horse for every person, because there's such a variety of horse colors in here and shapes and sizes and, just everything. Just everything.
And it made me so happy. Like, we all love our horses, but like, we just really love our horses, and we love staring at them, apparently, and saying, yeah, this marking looks like a blah, blah, blah. But then I come along and look at it and go, that doesn't look anything like what you're talking about.
That's right. I have this thing about Appaloosas, very spotted Appaloosas. When I was a young horse husband, we had a very spotted Appaloosa who was naughty. So my impression, that was my first impressions, because I was a young horse husband then. And so now anything spotted Appaloosa, I don't want any parts of, because that was what I was exposed to first, was the naughty one.
Well, that's fair. And I think my aversion to grays, and especially flea-bitten grays, is because my first few ponies that I rode, like the very first horses I learned to ride on, were flea-bitten grays. And they were the sourest, most obnoxious ponies.
And it had nothing to do with their color, yet that's what you associate.
Right? That's what I associate. Yep. It's the same reason that the very first Arabian that I ever met is why I don't like Arabians. And I recognize that that's a peculiar prejudice perk for me, not perk, but, bias is just, but that first Arabian, his name was Ahab. He was terrible.
I bet he would pull. Every horse person has this same thing with some kind of flavor of horse, right? I think they all have it, whether they want to admit it or not. They're just a little bit prejudiced to that first one they met that was obnoxious and tried to kill them. You know? So
basically.
I almost feel like we need a BetterHelp commercial right now. Would be perfect. You need therapy. We need a therapy commercial right now.
Therapy. Yeah, no, I won't deny that Ahab was still beautiful, and when he would trot in the pasture and float, and I still remember that, and I go, yes, I understand why people love Arabians, but I cannot because of that horse. Because
I think, if you're honest, everybody has that horse.
He could pull telephone pole sized posts out of the ground like it was nothing.
Yep,
like he was a sit backer,
right?
Yeah, and that was scary. And he was always freaking out about something, and you almost got the feeling he did it on purpose because he just wanted to.
Well, and I think there's some horses that are that way, actually.
Probably. Yeah. But yeah, so it was a reminder of how beautiful horses can be and how weirdly colored they can be and how unique they all are. So
now there's somebody that loves them all.
All of them, even the I had a really obnoxious pony, and I admit he was obnoxious, but I loved him. There's a horse for everybody.
Well, I know there's some good fun news coming up, right, for the Massachusetts show in November?
Yes, there is. Tickets are officially on sale. Woohoo! Oh, yeah. Air horn, foghorn noises, blah. Oh, excellent. A bell.
So where do they go? What do they do? What's the scoop? It changed this year, so pay attention, people.
It changed, yes. Yeah. Pay attention. We have gone back to Tix.com. We were with Western Edge for a few years, but before that, we were with Tix. So if you are one of those people who have been around since Tix, you'll be happy because it's the same old thing. And if you haven't been with Tix before, it's very smooth. It's very easy. Really not much changes in terms of your online purchase experience, except that it's lower fees, which is lovely. We like that. And also just much more streamlined. So the way that you buy your tickets online is you go to equineaffaire.com and you select the Massachusetts event, find our tickets page, and you go from there, and we'll put the link in the show notes. And then if you want to order over the phone, you can call our office. So this is another big change from the Western Edge days, is you used to call Western Edge to buy your tickets. Well, now you call us. So literally me at the office will be one of the people answering the phone, and we will answer the phone and take care of your ticket orders ourselves in-house. So the office number is 740-845-0085, and you can call us anytime Monday through Friday between 9 a.m. Eastern and 5 p.m. Eastern and order over the phone. Or you can do it online, which I think is better, but do you. And then another kind of fun thing in honor of the nation's 250th birthday. Hooray, America. We just did the 4th of July. We're doing a 25% discount on Fantasia tickets for Thursday night only, and that's for veterans. So if you are a veteran and you want a discount on your Fantasia tickets for Thursday night, you have to call the office and let us know, and we can process that for you.
All right, very good. And also, I know some applications are available for some of the different things going on.
Yes, this is fresh, hot news. Applications for the Versatile Horse and Rider Competition and the Breed Bonanza are both available online right now and will stay available until September 11th. So we'll also put those links in the show notes if you need them, but most people know to go to our website and look for those pages, and then you just fill out your applications. Most of the time we ask for videos and photos so that you can take a little time to get your videos just right. But yeah, you definitely want to enter those. Those are our two premier competitions, and people have been knocking down my door on the Facebook asking, when are these ready? Are these ready yet? Well, they're ready, so you can apply, and we'll see you at Equine Affaire.
Sounds good. And Ride with a Pro is not out yet, right? That's
not yet. Soon. It's coming soon. It might even be out by the time of this episode airing, but as of time of recording, it's still in process. I know that Kogi and Lori are working on getting those up sometime this month.
That's probably a feat scheduling wise too. So
it is. But Ride with a Pro will be here very soon. Everybody's really been asking about that one as well, more so than even the competitions. And that is in process, and we have a lot of great clinicians who are going to be participating in that. So I know it'll be great when it gets here. So just check the website. If it's live by the time the show airs, then I will put a little note in the show description that it's ready. But for now, as of recording, not yet.
All right, very good. Well, this episode is brought to you by Farnham and Endure Gold Killer Fly and Mosquito Control. Now, we bought some of this, and it's a brand new fly spray from Endure. And I know people have used Endure Gold before, but this actually has a couple of brand new EPA-approved ingredients never before seen in equine care. And it's, Endure Gold's backed by science and hard work and all that stuff. But I will say this. Jennifer has loved this stuff, and we have not had a good relationship with fly spray for a long time, but Scooter has all these issues with bugs in his skin, and he breaks out and all that stuff, so it's very important that we find something that works. And what happened was the other day, she said, I'm going to test this. I'm going to really test it. So we had the two horses side by side, same amount of flies in both stalls, right? So she sprayed the Endure Gold Killer Fly Mosquito Control on the one, and then on her horse, Nigel, who's much larger, she sprayed a really good fly spray that's been around for a long time. Within 10 minutes, Nigel had flies landing on him. Scooter never had one. Just none. Zero. And it just works. This stuff really does work. So I got to say...
Did she make it up to Nigel afterward?
Yeah. I got to say Nigel. It's improved. It's improved by us because it just works. Now, it doesn't smell good like perfume. Okay. This is one of those fly sprays that you want to put your shirt over your nose when you spray it, but it really does work. I gotta say. And I'm not one for stinky fly sprays, but seeing how well this works, I'm like, okay, I'll put up with it. Because it does work. So anyway, you can find that Endure Gold Killer Fly and Mosquito Control at most stores. Just search for it at any online store or at your local tack shop. They'll have it. But we gotta say it does work.
All right. Well, Kendra Clarke joined us last year in Massachusetts as a clinician and exhibitor, and she'll be back this fall as an exhibitor in the trade show. She is a lifelong horse girl. She is literally calling us from the farm, so she'll fit right in. Professionally, she is a rider biomechanics expert with students in dressage, eventing, western, and hunter jumpers. And she works out of two facilities. As she says, she bops across the river between Frenchtown, New Jersey, and Bucks County, Pennsylvania. And so today we're chatting with her about the importance of rider biomechanics for people and horses. So hi, Kendra. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
It's a delight. We have seen your face. We've seen your bio. We've seen you at Equine Affaire, but this is the first time that we've gotten to really chat face to face or voice to voice. So
yes,
this is exciting. And I thought, why don't we start with kind of a stupid question? I feel like I hear the term rider biomechanics all the time, but I have no idea if my inner definition is right. And so I thought it would be funny to do a quick pop quiz before you get into anything. So like listeners, listen to this. Glenn, you answer too. What do you think is meant by rider biomechanics? Glenn, go first.
Being the non-rider in the group.
Yeah.
Obviously, I would think body position, balance, things like that.
That's what comes to my mind. And then I think like biomechanics. So is it the way your joints work, and is everybody's biomechanics different? So it's kind of like how you sit in the saddle and how you work with the horse's motion. If I had to say, like, without having ever looked it up.
Yeah, that's a great place to start. So it's basically the study of how the body moves. So if you think of a soccer player's biomechanics or a horseback rider's, it's how they're moving, especially for us in a athlete kind of or sports specific manner. And then taking a deeper dive into it for equestrians, it's looking at what is the rider's goal, such as jumping, 3 foot, or doing a half pass in dressage or sliding stop with Western, and seeing how their body is built, conformation, postural, all the asymmetries that we carry, and just working with those to better understand how your body is or isn't moving, and then forming the most efficient patterns and habits.
So if you're really rusty, or you're really old, or you're really stiff, that has an effect, I would think.
Absolutely. But even if you are, I've worked with 5-star eventers and top of the line FEI dressage riders, and everybody's got something. Like, do you stand like this when you teach, or you drive a stick shift? It's always that left leg that's, does a little bit interesting things compared to those of us who don't drive sticks. So it's just learning what your habits are in your day-to-day life. And it's been pretty cool that it's not necessarily age or skills level kind of dependent. It's a really leveling playing field.
So I would imagine that those of us who are more sedentary and, don't work out as much as we should probably have worse biomechanics than those of us who are more athletic and do work out.
Yes, but if, let's say, you're working out in like really bad form, then it's still, you're just strong in a bad way instead of being weak in a bad way.
Oh, that's no fun. Then you just feel like, why did I even bother?
Yes. And it's sometimes the challenge too is that we think we're doing one thing, but then in reality we're not. So it's all with proprioception as well.
That's a story of my life right there.
Seriously.
That applies to more than just where your body sits. So.
Absolutely.
That's why you're a carriage driver, right, Glenn?
Well, you know what? And it's surprising how much body position and everything you do with your body affects you in carriage driving as well. It's
and I've actually taught some lessons to carriage drivers before too, and it is a blast.
Yeah.
But very unique to just feel what happens with you, like almost in like reaction to the carriage itself as much as the horse.
You shift your weight without even moving the reins, and it can affect the horse. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Oh, well, I imagine it's like riding a motorcycle or a dirt bike. The way you shift is going to change the vehicle. It's just in your case, you have strapped a 1,000-pound animal with a mind of its own to the front of your motorcycle, Glenn.
Right.
So.
Yeah, and I had one that bolted, so it was like a motorcycle.
Yes.
The joke is that riding horses is for people who like riding bikes that make really bad decisions.
Exactly.
There you go. That's perfect.
Yep. We can all relate to that. So this is also another dumb question, but I think it applies. Why does it matter? Why should we care how our bodies move on our horses? Why should that affect how we get where we're going, whether it's over that fence or in that sliding stop?
So all of our little nuances relay to the horses. So you can think of like a rider who's really stiff in their hips. Well, their horse is going to be stiff in the hips or in the back. Yep. And if our horse is stiff somewhere or misaligned, etc., then it's lameness. I literally have a lecture that's called Rider Biomechanics and the Effect on Soundness in the Horse. And it's a bunch of, if you do this, your horse could do this. And, it affects the saddle shifting or just how the saddle wears and tears type deal. And all those little intricacies do add up into making horses lame. So it's our responsibility to know what we're doing to do better for them.
Absolutely. And I think about, well, you could look at your saddle even or your boots and see how the way that you ride, like the actual changes you're affecting on your tack or on your boots. And then you just imagine how that's playing through your horse's body. So even if you wanted some kind of tangible, you can see like, oh, the heels wear unevenly on my boots. And that occurs even with walking, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like if we have really old shoes, if those of us who don't like to go shoe shopping, I can look at my shoes and go, oh, I roll my weight to the outside on this foot a lot, and I didn't even realize it.
Yep. And then what's fascinating is your feet correlate up to your hips. So what your feet do, it's easily what your hips do and vice versa. So the body is obnoxiously connected. So yes, when I look at my riders, I have a few trick questions that I ask about their feet and look at their boots to get me information without them knowing that I'm sneaking it out of them. It's a little like, it makes it so it's like I get unbiased answers and can ask them questions that they have like, they're like, why does this matter? Why am I telling her this? But it's just investigating.
What is that song? Hips don't lie. So
yeah, exactly.
So let's say we have bad, quote unquote, bad biomechanics. How do we get better? How do we fix it?
So a lot of the work that I do is through retraining your body's neurocognitive behaviors, fancy word for habits. So I will use sometimes things as simple as touch to, let's say people, when they post, they really push down to their stirrup. I'll help support their leg and take the post down to the halt, and they just start to fire different muscles with some bone support. I'm also certified in what's called train your seat. So we use balls and bands to instill feelings to the body, such as these like peanut-shaped balls that can go underneath your seat bones. And if you have, your hips are really tight, the balls highly encourage movement and will show you if you're moving one way or the other and just give you a different sensation to feel change. Because I can use all the words in the dictionary and sometimes like, doesn't matter the rider's level, they just won't get it. But feel the body can understand and process and make like new neural pathways.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's so true about when you're first learning how to ride, too. It's like they can you're right. Your trainer can tell you a million different ways. Keep your heels down, do this, do this. But until you actually do it or luck into doing it and realize that's what it feels like, it's not going to compute.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, kind of thinking about carriage driving, how does that, just because Glenn brought it up, like you wouldn't have the carriage driver sit on a peanut ball, I guess, but like how would you help a carriage driver?
So actually, I have had a driver sit on the little peanut ball because if their hips are really tight, it goes up into their armpits, into their spine, into their neck, their ribs. All of it translates down into their hands. So I'll do on any of my riders' carriage or on top of the horses, we'll do some exercises on the ground where I'll basically be like, okay, walk with this stiff or that stiff or in this way. And all of a sudden people aren't breathing as smoothly or they can't tap their nose with their finger as smoothly, even though they're doing something with their foot or with their hip. So again, the body's obnoxiously connected. So yeah, with the carriage drivers, I'll do a lot of stuff that impacts the pelvis, the spine, and all the way up into their arms and their shoulders, especially like elbows into hands. That's a huge talking point for them.
That's cool. Glenn, do you want to be a guinea pig for Kendra sometime?
We can do a demo in Springfield.
He doesn't come to Springfield because he's a wimp and he doesn't like the cold.
I live in Florida.
November's
Why would
not
I
that
go
bad.
to Massachusetts in the winter? I mean,
Yeah. I just give him crap for that.
it really applies to the pairs and four-in-hand drivers even more because they're holding multiple reins. So, yeah, that even applies to them even more. It's something that I as soon as you said the ball, I'd say that would be a perfect thing to do actually. Because you do not realize you're moving your shoulders and you also, how riders are always one-sided, right? Everybody has the
Absolutely.
one side. Well, carriage drivers, same way. And it depends what type of carriage you drive and all of that too. I'm not sure it matters as much when you're driving draft horses, like a four-handed draft horses, because they're not quite as sensitive. But if you ever get to go with a four-handed draft horses, definitely do it because it's fun.
I've driven some, mainly Frisians, but yes, they are a blast to drive. Yes, they were young and spirited, to say the least.
Yes. You mentioned a simulator before, and you have some kind of simulator. How does what you do?
So the simulator, it's a Racewood eventing simulator. Racewood's a company out of England, and I was lucky to basically find one in my backyard. It's privately owned, and she saw what I do, and it was like love at first sight. So with the simulator, her name is Blue. Lovingly, we joke that she's a mare because she tattles on you. And you can watch her canter, jump up to 1.20 meters, and they're like real and mean. Nobody starts there. And we have gymnastics and little ones to start with. But there's lots of screens and different metrics and measurements. So even if a rider, let's say, looks like their bones are off to the right, but their balance might not be. And the metrics give me the ability to go, okay, despite what your bones look like, you're actually doing off to the left. And here, when you move this body part or do this sensation, it equals this to the horse. So it's really fascinating when, let's say, for example, a rider's off to the right, and I'll be like, okay, just play. A trainer has told you you're off to the right. You have an understanding of the metrics. See what happens when you think you go to the left. And most people are like blowing past it. They're so far to the left, and they go, wow, like I have to move like a sprinkle size amount of energy, weight, etc. And my horse feels that much. So it's humbling, and it makes us realize that our horses are all saints.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then with it too, I can like do things that are completely unsafe on a real horse, like stand behind you and grab your leg while you're jumping and cantering. So I get to be very creative with this lovely machine.
Well, I looked it up. I decided, you know what, I need to know what this looks like. And it is actually like this it looks like a giant Barbie horse.
Yeah. When my husband first saw it, he was like, do you need me to like program Barbie Dream Horse video game into this? I'm like, that would be lovely.
Yeah, like, that's what
my inner 12-year-old thinks this is so cool.
I never got to play that game, and I have said, now I'm like, oh, we could play it.
Yeah.
It's like a giant Barbie horse, and then you have a huge screen, and there are sensors all over it. That's really cool.
Yeah. And the sensors, you can talk to her. So like if I turn on, all of the conversation points, you can use your leg. The rider can ask all the moves up to the Grand Prix. Depending on what screen you're in, you're not going to be able to do Grand Prix moves while also doing a show jumping course. So it's almost like having like 6 horses in my barn, but all in one.
Well, and you don't have to worry about the horse hurting or being lame after this because
Luckily, no.
Yeah.
There's like any true horse, there is some mechanical things, but they are much less exciting than the vet bills that real horses see.
Right. I mean, but this thing isn't cheap either. The price tag I'm seeing on the simulator.
It's a very, very nice horse. And it takes, for the model that I have access to, it's about a year or so wait at least to get it, because I went over to England to where they are made and they make about 4 at a time. It's like this real small operation, but they keep the quality, up because it's so small, and they're able to like niche into, there's models that just do dressage. There's lots of different race ones. There's actually a race one at Saratoga in the National Racehorse Museum. That's humbling. I've never ridden like a real racehorse, but when I hopped on that thing, I recommend everybody goes for an adventure there. And the safest way to ride a racehorse.
You know what, though? You buy a real horse, you're paying more than that, and they eat and they poop and all of that.
Yes.
Yours at least doesn't get a vet bill normally.
No, mine doesn't have board either. No shoes every month.
I was just thinking there's an additional feature, like I went to racewood.com and I'm looking, there's an additional feature including never-ending jumps.
Yes.
So you can vary the distance between jumps and change the type of jump and the height.
Yep.
And I'm just like, wow.
I love that feature. It's the never-ending gymnastic, which technically it does end. I've had 2 riders get to the end of it and we're like, oh, we should have counted. Like, why didn't we count? So one of these days I will hop on myself and see how many jumps they truly are. But I can go from 6 to 49 strides in between the jumps. So I'll use it for lots and lots of different reasons. And it really helps especially with people finding their hips in the canter. I'll have them sit the jump, the small setting. I'll like tell them, like, pretend it's an exuberant canter pole that your horse just like gave you a little extra and you weren't just expecting it, and you got to like keep everything together. So it's a good exercise. It's hard.
Have you ever heard of this, Glenn? Like, have you seen one?
No, I haven't seen this one. We know about the Equicizer because Frankie's a friend, but I have never seen this one.
But this is not like that. This is like
it's completely
computerized.
Yeah.
You almost wonder if you're supposed to feed it hay or something.
This one's very bolted into the ground and like, very.
So you're not bringing it to Equine Affaire with you. It won't be there.
No, it is. That is a feat and then some.
Right. No, but so this is included in the raffle prize you're donating, right?
Yes.
Like this is okay. So this is really cool, guys. Kendra is participating in the raffle and she is donating a workshop for 4 people with this riding simulator in it as one of the prizes for the raffle.
Yes.
Which is even cooler than I thought it was because I hadn't looked at the simulator yet. So if you want to win a chance to work with Kendra and ride this thing, you just have to enter the Massachusetts online free raffle, which we'll put the link in the show notes. And me and Glenn will talk about that more on the show. But this is a really cool prize. I'm very excited. Man. Okay. So the simulator really opens up this whole world of you can work with people without worrying about the horse. Because that's something I was kind of worrying about earlier. It's just like, so if we know we have bad biomechanics and we're trying to learn our way through unlearning bad habits, my horse is going to suffer the whole time. So this makes it a whole lot, like takes the guilt out of it, I feel like, if I can be on the simulator.
Absolutely. And a lot of people think like that. And then when we do lessons on the real horses, when I travel for clinics and everything, the horses show the results of you riding with better balance and biomechanics, et cetera. And it's so cool to like have the riders like almost their eyes like bug out of their head and be like, my horse can do this quality of work if I just like have my stuff together. Yeah. So that's been a pretty fun experience too. But there's many times when I'm traveling at clinics and I'm like, I just wish I had the simulator to do like 10 minutes on this, fix them and put them back on the real horse.
Yeah. And I imagine that's really rewarding for you. It's not just seeing it click for the people, but then seeing the horses change, you probably the relief that they probably feel when they're like, oh, good, somebody fixed my stupid human.
Luckily, horses don't think like that. But yes, they just feel balance and feel like, serenity and all that harmony that us dressage riders look for. And yeah, it's very rewarding.
So how can people learn more about you and learn about working with you?
So all the social media website is K Clarke Equine. That's Clarke with an E. That's always the one that gets a little confused. I'll be in the Young building at Equine Affaire in Springfield. And I also will have in Springfield, I have Novell sensors. So they're saddle sensors that go on your saddle seat and your stirrups, and they connect to an iPad. So even without the simulator, without your horse, just sitting at my booth, I can put you through some paces and see where your biomechanics are, your alignment and everything. And those sensors I travel with to clinics and things. Those I just launched this year. So it's like a way to take the metrics and everything from the simulator out into the real world as well. But all the social media, we're launching that for the sensors in September, I believe.
Perfect.
So yeah, it's all
awesome.
The usual, but with K Clarke with an E, Equine.
Excellent. And we will put that in the show notes. And then her booth number, if you want to jot this down, is 1233 in the Young. Basically, you're right smack in the middle of the Young, which I think is a perfect location.
Oh, yeah.
And so people can find you and get a little bit of help while they're there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Kendra. This was amazing.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
You can learn more about Equine Affaire at our website, equineaffaire.com, our Facebook page, or over on our YouTube channel. Those handles are at Equine Affaire. We have our own separate podcast feed with only our Equine Affaire episodes, too. If you want to binge all those before the show gets here in November, you can search for Equine Affaire on your podcast player and look for our little purple horse head logo, and you'll find us.
And of course, you can follow Horses in the Morning on Facebook or just search for Horses in the Morning. And if you want to participate, I'll put a link in the show notes for this episode too. If you want to be there for our 4,000th episode on Zoom on Sunday night, the 19th at 8 o'clock Eastern time, I'll put the link to the Facebook event in there. So you can just, you can indicate you want to go and it'll send out a reminder, and we'll put the Zoom link in there and everything. But thank you all for listening to us for all of these years. You've been on for a lot of years now too.
I know. I keep looking back and going, how's it been?
Don't know.
Is it 4
or 5?
Or 5?
Yeah.
We'll have to look.
Yeah.
But
so thank you for doing this with me every month. Appreciate that. And thank you for being part of the success of Horses in the Morning over the years.
Well, thank you for letting me hook on. It's been fun, and congratulations. You guys are killing it. And I feel like it should be a record. Even if it's a record for the longest horse running podcast.
We can say we're the longest running equestrian podcast. We can say that.
Exactly.
Yeah, we have that. Yeah, we have that. Nobody's going to catch us for a long time with that one.
No.
All right, everybody. We'll see you at Equine Affaire.